Welcome to Act Out. I'm Eleanor Goldfield, and this is your tipping point. On January 25th, the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission, or FERC, released a final environmental impact statement, or FEIS, lots of acronyms, for the proposed Northeast Supply Enhancement, here's another one, or NESE pipeline, aka the Williams Pipeline. This 23-mile fracked gas pipeline would slice through New York Harbor past Staten and Coney Islands before connecting to an existing pipeline right off the coast of the Rockaways, threatening the very same communities most devastated by and still recovering from Superstorm Sandy. Now, contrary to what you might think, FERC is well aware of climate change. They even mention it in this impact statement. These existing and future emissions of GHGs, or greenhouse gases, unless significantly curtailed, will cause further warming and changes to the local, regional, and global climate systems. Right on. Sounds like they get it. But wait, then why would you give a green light to this pipeline? Could it be because they don't see any potential for greenhouse gas emissions that directly contribute to climate change? Emissions from construction and operation of the project would increase the atmospheric concentration of GHGs, in combination with past and future emissions from all other sources, and contribute incrementally to future climate change impacts. Okay. Well, that doesn't sound good. How are you going to qualify that statement? However, there is no widely accepted standard per international, federal, or state policy, or as a matter of physical science, to determine the significance of the project's GHG emissions. So your reason for greenlighting this project is that, it'll be bad, but since you can't find any standard that tells you exactly how bad it'll be, it makes more sense to just kind of go ahead with it. What? So, there actually is. It's called science, most popularly found in the most recent IPCC report that even released a nice little summary for policymakers so that regulatory agencies like FERC could see what they need to do in order to, keep us all from dying. And even before that, there was the Paris Agreement, too flaccid to keep us from dying, but still something that you still could have grabbed a hold of as an internationally accepted goalpost for addressing greenhouse gas emissions, thereby not being dumbass pieces of human trash announcing your putrid hypocrisy in the seldom read pages of an ironically titled Final Environmental Impact Statement. Going for the double dip on hypocritical dumb shittery, FERC wraps the FEIS with this sentence. Therefore, with the possible exception of climate change, we conclude that cumulative impacts would be insignificant. What? With the possible exception of climate change, we conclude that cumulative impacts would be insignificant? That's the only fucking significant part of any of this. It's the only thing that matters in your entire job. It'd be like a plane mechanics crew performing a mechanical check on an airplane and deducing that, with the possible exception of not being able to fly, this thing is ready to take off. Are you absolutely fucking kidding me? This isn't simply a matter of folks not doing their job that well. This is a matter of people actively pushing us towards climate chaos. This should be considered a war crime. The level of crisis that we face cannot be underestimated. The destruction of irreparable environments due to our extractive industries is already killing and displacing millions of people, not to mention plants and animals. Considering this, should we not think of those who knowingly perpetuate climate change on a large scale as war criminals? And for those of you thinking, but wait, I know about climate change and I drive a car, am I a war criminal? We all exist on a hypocrisy spectrum where we knowingly contribute to waste and pollution, of course. And we should always strive to mitigate our impact while also recognizing that on a personal scale, we can't save it. Without addressing and shutting down the industries that hold the noose, as was reported in 2017, those 100 companies that are responsible for 71% of all global emissions, unless we shut that down, we will be left holding a reusable bag as the world burns. And that is why we have to look at regulatory agencies that greenlight hundreds of dirty energy projects knowing full well the realities of climate change. We shouldn't consider the threshold of our personal responsibility to be greening our home and our personal lives. The threshold of our personal responsibility extends way farther than that. to standing resolutely in the way of these kinds of projects, and unapologetically calling out all those who try to push them through.